What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang? This is your boy 49er Dion, aka Niner Gang Podcast, back in the building with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it. What's going on, Chanel and Matt? So this game, we're going to go ahead and make a couple of game picks, and we'll go ahead and we'll talk about the Green Bay versus San Francisco game. Now, I did initially want to get a Green Bay fan on, but I couldn't find anyone. The one dude that I did try to go ahead and interact with, he unfortunately never got back to me. Told me to go ahead and email him, and then at the same time, as soon as I jump on the stream, all you doing is doing what most people would do. He's just talking crap about my Niners. So at the end of the day, doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and do that by myself. But let's get into these game picks because, currently, as I previously stated, whenever we see the Packers on the schedule, it's automatic done. It's my boy Matt, man. My boy Matt, he be live with it, man. He's super live with it. But at the end of the day, y'all got to bear with me just a quick second. I am going to grab – actually, you know what? Don't even worry about it. We'll talk about that another time. At the end of the day, this is going to be a definite battle. It's at home. It's Sunday Night Football. This is one of the biggest games of the year for us. We are 2-0. The Packers are currently 1-1. They're coming off a W against the Detroit Lions. Aaron Rodgers looked like he was kind of back to his old self after looking like hot garbage in the first game, as it pertains to when he was playing the Saints, because they made him look really bad, man. That defense balled out, and Jameis Winston wound up beating them with 5 TDs and barely 150 yards throwing. So it is what it is. But with that being said, everyone, Danny Terry, I see the Packers have players out on the line. Yes, that's going to be another thing that I get into, Mr. Terry. Yes, sir. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right on into it. We are going to start with the game picks. Now, Carolina versus Houston. Carolina gets the dub with a few TDs from Sam Darnold, rushing, not throwing. I had picked Carolina to win this game. I know that game is already over, so y'all are kind of like, man, you just gave yourself a leg up, with picking Carolina. But anytime anyone is playing Houston right now, I have no faith in Houston at the moment, strictly based on the fact that Houston is not a good team right now, and they are starting Davis Mills. Now, here's the thing. Touchy subject when it comes to Deshaun Watson and the whole situation with everything going on. Completely understand it, just going to not really touch that subject. But if you got Deshaun Watson on your team and there's nothing restricting him from being on the field from a technical standpoint, hey, man, you put him on the field, you tell the media, hey, look, this is what it is. Davis Mills is the quarterback from Stanford. He had started to get a light buzz toward the end of the draft process and whatnot. And then right when the draft came in, the Houston Texans did go ahead and pick him up. I don't remember what round they drafted him in, but Davis Mills, he is a quarterback out of Stanford. Didn't really have eye-popping numbers. Wasn't really much for him to, much for us to go on. But either way, Carolina gets the nod. With me, whether they would have won or not. So even if they would have lost, I would have went ahead and went with them. So the next game on the list is the Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills. Both teams are 1-1. Bills coming off a 35-0 beatdown of the Dolphins, and Washington winning a nail-biter, edge-of-your-seat game against the Giants. No Fitz magic, all Taylor Heineke, and his 458 yards in total in his 2 games, 3 TDs versus 1 interception, versus Josh Allen's 449 yards. Same outlook, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Devin Singletary in the run game versus Antonio Gibson in the run game for the Washington football team. 2 of the best defenses in the NFL. For this one, guys, I got to go with the Bills. The reason being is because I don't see enough from, Washington's offense to give me a reason to take them. Their defense is phenomenal. It's fantastic, but I don't trust that offense. I don't really know Taylor Heineke that well. Yes, Chase Young was giving him a lot of credit because of what he did in the playoffs last year, but we don't know how that's going to work, and we don't know if this is going to be a long-term type of situation. But he keeps getting the opportunity, so as long as the young man shows up and continues to play well, he might get the starting nod in the game. Next up on the list, guys, we have the Bears versus the Browns. Now, this one right here is definitely going to have some good storylines. The Justin Fields era has begun in Chicago. Team saw a bit of a spark on offense when he came in after Dalton for last week. Fields was only 6 of 13 for 60 yards and an INT, but he rushed for 31 yards on 10 carries. The threat of the run with Fields in the game is dynamic, opens the door for receivers to get open, and holds linebackers with confusion when they are running. Expect Nagy to draw up some plays with Fields running in mind. The Browns come off a W versus the Texans, which we all expected. With no OBJ or Landry, they still made it happen. Sources say we could see OBJ in this game. Remains to be seen. I'll believe it when I see it. You ain't seen Odell Beckham Jr. doing much of nothing in the last few games. I don't anticipate he's going to come in and do much of anything in these games. Ever since he's been with the Browns, he's just unfortunately been very injury prone, and he hasn't been able to stay on the field and be that dynamic, guy that we saw produce back when he was with the Giants. But with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Baker Mayfield, and that defense, don't see the Browns taking a loss in this one. I'm taking the Browns. So on the next game up, we have the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. Now, the Ravens are coming off a close win versus the Chiefs. Detroit coming off a hard loss to a division rival, the Packers. One team is on a high from beating the two-time AFC champs. The other team on a low, being 0-2, and not much being expected from them this season. Anyway, easy choice. Going to go ahead and go with the Ravens to take the W in this one. No questions asked on that. It just makes more sense. How's it going, Melissa? Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend to yourself. So next game on the list here, we are going to go with, I apologize, this thing jumped on me. There we go. We are going back. This is definitely all the way down there. All right. Sorry, this thing jumped on me. All right. Game 5, Colts versus Titans. Colts riding a 2-game losing streak with the QB who sprained both ankles. How in the world do you do that? I don't know, but either way it happened. Most likely Jacob Eason will start, and they'll rely heavily on the run game and defense to help win this one. Flip to the Titans coming off a W against the Seahawks. Appreciate that, King Henry. He showed up and showed out. Julio Jones looked good. Easy pick, taking the Titans to beat the Colts and blow them out. Just basically, man, you ain't got Carson Wentz in there. You guys really don't have much of a chance of winning. It's definitely going to, really, really be hard as it pertains to that. The next thing we have here on the list is the Chargers versus the Chiefs. The Chargers come off a loss to the Cowboys at home, and they travel to Arrowhead to face the Chiefs, who are also coming off a loss to the Ravens. This is a division rivalry that I can't wait to watch. This is my upset of the week. Chiefs lose 2 in a row. Chargers beat their division opponents and stun the NFL with this win. So we're going to move on to Game 7. Hey, what's happening with you? Third Fordham. And Joey, what's going on with you? Let's see here. So Game 7, New Orleans versus New England. The Battle of the News. One from the South, the Big Easy, the Boot, where the city is hopefully getting back to normal after the weather they just had. New Orleans, you're in our prayers and in our hearts and in our minds. We hope that everything gets back to normal and continues to keep going forward for you guys. The Patriots coming off a W. Belichick just smashed poor Zach Wilson into the dirt and showed that rookie QBs have no business trying to beat him. The Saints coming off a loss where Jameis showed us who he really was, which leaves us asking The question: will the real Jameis Winston please stand up? Taking the Patriots in this game. In this one, Mac Jones gets a win number 2 in his career, but Jameis puts up a good fight. So we got to keep rolling here. Game 8, we got the Falcons versus the Giants. Battle of the defeated teams is what I like to call this one. Falcons can't win, Giants can't win, but hey, at least in this game, someone will win, or they both could screw things up, and this ends in a tie. Well, no judgment. Both teams have been blown out and had one game a bit closer. Going with the Falcons here, taking the vet Matt Ryan, who is no longer Matty Ice but has better weapons. The Giants just lost an offensive lineman. Daniel Jones is their leading rusher, not Saquon Barkley. That is definitely very suspect. Both defenses are super suspect, but I believe the Falcons can pull this one off. So I know it's kind of hard to kind of pick that, but I mean, somebody's got to get the dub. And I know and understand that's what it is. What's up, Roy Boy? What's going on, Matt Moses? And on to the next game here. So we got the Bengals versus the Steelers. Steelers are 1-1 coming off a loss to the Raiders. Bengals are 1-1 coming off a loss to the Bears. And this interdivision rivalry will be a fun game to watch. Steelers just lost TJ Watt for a bit. Ben Roethlisberger is dealing with the pectoral injury. He may or may not play. The Bengals offense is taking steps in the right direction with the connection from Burrow to Chase in full effect. Going with another upset, taking the Bengals in this one. Last, I believe, 12 or 13 times these teams have met the Steelers have been the victor, but not today. The blue-collar steel mill worker gets eaten by the hungry Bengal tiger. So next game up on the list here, we got game 10. It's going to be Arizona versus Jacksonville. So with this one, not much to say about that. Not much to say about this game. Really, Cardinals win, go 3-0. Urban Meyer starts to look more into that USC job that everyone thinks Deion Sanders should currently get. Now, I know a lot of people have said that Urban Meyer isn't going to go ahead and bail on the team. If Urban Meyer does do it, he should do it the way Nick Saban did with the Dolphins. He was a man about it. He brought the Dolphins players in, let them know, hey, this pro thing ain't for me. I'm good. I don't like it. I'm heading myself back to Alabama. I'm taking the job. Everyone respected him for it, and he's loved and revered in Miami for it because he was open and honest about his choice. Unlike us, we have a little bit of a sour taste in our mouth from Jim Harbaugh because we didn't know whether he was leaving or whether he was staying. There was lots of rumors about him taking a Michigan job. He openly denied him. He didn't tell the players. Next thing you know, boom, he bolts. Michigan, here he comes, and he hasn't looked really good with Michigan. They haven't really done much of anything since he's been there. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a little bit of a break here, man, and got to go ahead and throw out this promotion here. If you're a betting man, I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I'd go with my bookie. So this Saturday, there will be blood. Head to mybookie.ag and get in on the UFC First Blood promotion. When any fighter on the main card bleeds, you win. The second you see blood, that's where that money comes in. You get paid. With this bet centered around 5 main card bouts, including 2 title fights, you know the octagon won't stay dry for the long. So take advantage of this opportunity to make some easy money with my bookie. Nick Diaz has bled in 3 of his last 4 fights. Robbie Lawler is a leaky faucet, so you know by the end of his 5-round rematch, blood will be spilled. Head to my bookie now and use the promo code HIVE to start off with a double deposit bonus. That's promo code HIVE, HIVE, to double your money so you can double your winnings with my bookie. And that's not all. If you deposit now, you'll also get a free entry into my bookie's $50,000 NFL Survivor Pool. That's a double deposit bonus, free money on UFC, and a free shot at $50K. That's what I call a winning season. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie. Also, the promo code offers all customers a 100% deposit match. So you get to double up on your bread. You put in 100, you get 100. You put in 1,000, you get 1,000. Maximum amount that they will match is $1,000. So just remember, if you put that in and you double up on your bread, so you put in 1,000, you got 2 G's already. You win, more money for you. Why not go ahead and get over there to it? That's my bookie. Definitely go ahead and get to it, man. And if you're a betting man, that's the choice for us with our folks over here at the Hive. So definitely getting back to the games. We're going to go ahead and jump back on here. Let's see what we got, because we got some good games coming up here. So next game on the list is the Jets versus the Broncos. Nice AFC matchup here. Once again, not a lot to say about this game. Either the Jets unfortunately suck something off on, the Broncos are rolling with Teddy B, and I don't mean Brewski. Easy choice, taking the Broncos here to blow out the Jets. Hey, what's happening with you, my guy Elliot? Next game on the list, Tampa Bay versus the LA Rams. The battle of the unbeatens, 2 juggernauts in the NFC. Teams picked to possibly win their respective divisions. Well, the Bucs have theirs in hand, and the Rams are in the most competitive division in football, the NFC West. Time to see if Stafford can beat the touchdown king so far this season and Super Bowl champ 7 times over, TB12. Can McVay best Arians? 2 great defenses. This will be a slobber knocker, as they say. An all-out war and a great game with both teams having weapons on both sides of the ball. It's hard to call, but I'm going with the Bucs here. Defense is slightly better. They have better receivers, a better tight end than Gronk. The Bucs take the W. All right, so we're going to move on to the next game here, guys. This is running real smooth right here, man. I have to say. Game 13, Seattle at Minnesota. So, Seahawks coming off a tough loss to the Titans where King Henry ran wild on that defense. Could the Vikings steal the coin turn from Wilson and turn it into let cook? Pun intended. Or will the Seahawks say, correction, just let Russ cook? And he does with TDs for Lockett and Metcalf all over the place. We shall see. For this game, I'm taking the Vikings to get over the hump finally and turn this game into a W. In their 2 games, the Minnesota Vikings have lost 2 in a row by slim margins, a total of 4 points. Literally frustrating as a team. Skull clap in your face. Game 14, Sunday Night Football, the game that everyone wants to watch. So this game is Green Bay versus the San Francisco 49ers. It is our home opener. This is the first time we have had fans in the stands since the NFC Championship game in 2019. And we all know how that panned out for the Packers. There was a Mostert on the field, and he was rolling, baby. We was pushing 100 with him. So with that being said, the game everyone wants to see in Levi Stadium against the Pack with no fans last year. They smashed our face in. They smashed our face in against a COVID-ravaged, injury-riddled team. The only good thing that came out of that is Rodgers put the league on notice that All-Pro Fred is the man. The 49ers want this game to look like the NFC Championship from several years ago. The issue is there is no Mostert for us to run down their throats. But we have a new back in Elijah Mitchell that can run between the tackles and leave you in his dust also. We still have the best tight end in the football, Mr. Kittle. The best O-line in football. Our problems lie on the defensive side of the ball. Can Mosley come back to cover Adams? Last time that happens, Adam had 10 catches for 173 yards and a TD. Can he avenge those numbers and shut him down if he plays? All right. And if not, we rely on the young rookie, Diamador Lenore, and the vet, Josh Norman, who seems to want to smoke with Adams and seems very confident he can lock him down. Now, if you are a Niner fan and you keep up with the 49ers YouTube channel, Josh Norman is very peaceful, very calm. He's in almost a zen-like state whenever he does any type of an interview. And they brought up the numbers on how he shut down Davante Adams a few times that they met, and he's like, "Oh, didn't know that." He basically loves how everyone is just calling him old and counting him out, where he, knows himself and feels within himself that he's going to have a fantastic game and a fantastic season. And hey, last game he had 2 BS calls on him, so I'm not going to sit up here and say that those calls were valid because they weren't. There's a lot of ticky-tack fouls in the NFL, just the minor, minute things, and they throw flags for everything. To me, it's just it makes no sense. It just gives the offense an unfair advantage. But back to the back to the old screen here. If not, we rely on the rookie and vet Josh Norman. Key to the W in this game is shut down Aaron Jones, slow down Davante Adams, and make sure Marquez Valdes-Scantling gets nothing over the top, and put Fred on the tight end, Robert Tonyan, and we're set. No one is worried about Randall Cobb at all. That's how you stop the offense. For the defense, they have given up at least 100 yards rushing to both opponents, the Lions and the Saints, Green Bay, that is. They have also given up a combined 7 passing TDs between the Saints and the Lions games, most of them coming from Winston in the first game because he threw 5 TDs. Jared Goff's only thrown 2. Over those 2 games, the Green Bay defense are averaging giving up about 200 yards passing per game, which is really good, but the 7 TDs allowed with the 1 INT isn't a good look. Green Bay's defense had 1 sack, and with no Zadarius Smith in the lineup, that bodes well for the 49ers. For the 49ers, it will be getting the run game going and going early, as well as getting Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo involved as well. Jair Alexander and King are a force to be reckoned with as a DB tandem, but they have no one that could cover Kittle, and doubling him only opens up the floodgates for Samuel and Ayuk to be one-on-one outside with the DBs. That pass rush isn't getting home for Green Bay. Plus, with our O-line, we should be good at keeping Jimmy G comfortable. On defense, the real test. I listed everything we need to do to stop them, but accomplishing that feat is different. Ward and Tart have the job of not letting Adams, Jones, or Valdes-Scantling get us over the top, and Norman and Lenoir have the job of stopping one of the top receivers in the league. You all know where I'm going with this one. I'm taking the Niners to win at home in the opener and beat the Pack. No score projection, just another dub. So basically, that's just how that worked out for me. All right, so last game of week 3, the game 15, technically, from what I'm looking at in my notes, Monday Night Football, a division rivalry game, NFC East battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Prescott versus Hurts. This will be a battle for a possible lead in the division, depending on the outcome of the Washington and Giants games, respectively. Dallas's offense has come out and put up 49 points in total with both games. They played while Zeke isn't looking like Zeke anymore, and Pollard, from the fan standpoint, is the better back. Dak is still Dak, and he's slinging the rock as usual with 640 yards. TD to interception ratio isn't crazy with it being 3-2, but he's connected with CeeDee Lamb as he should, touching with a little bit of Amari Rodgers here and there. And the Eagles scored 43 points in total in their first 2 games. Hurts in the first game looked like the QB of the future. Against the Niners, not so much. Still looked good, but not great. Had a heck of a day rushing, over 8 yards per carry, and he had 1 TD. So, oh, please. Sorry, guys. Let's get down to the bottom. There we go. All right. And Hurts only passed for 190 yards, and most of that was a chunk play to Quez Watkins for 91 yards. The Eagles have a better defense than Dallas without digging too much into this. Going with the Cowboys, they have the better offense. They are at home, and it should be a great advantage for them. So those are my picks of the week. Definitely going to go ahead and stick with people that I picked. Right now, I believe my record currently stands at, I got like 18 wins and something like that, 18 wins and 13 losses. I am more than comfortable with my record right now. As long as I'm above 500, I feel good. I did see a couple of upsets that happened for me in the previous week, but basically, when it comes down to this game, as far as it pertains to the 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers, yeah, everything I said is exactly what we need to do. It's definitely going to be a hard task, and it's going to be something that we really need to make sure that we take very good care of. But at the end of the day, I think we can do it. I believe in our defensive mind. I believe in the defensive backs, in getting their jobs done. I don't see Aaron Jones rushing for 100 yards or anything like that. I see us having a little bit of a time with Devontae Adams, but hey, if Norman wants to smoke, give him the smoke. Tell him to go to Devontae Adams and find him wherever he is. I always say this jokingly. Hey, if Devontae Adams is on the sideline, hang out with him, talk to him, ask him how his family doing, how his mama doing, how his kids doing, anything, everything. You need to stick to him like glue. And when it comes to the tight end, Robert Tonyan, we just have to make sure that he doesn't slip into the backfield, as far as slipping into the second level and catching those balls from Rodgers, because, Rodgers came in and he was a little spicy in his last interview. He openly cursed. Like, Rodgers is a whole different dude now. And I think a lot of it comes from him wanting respect. Like, basically, like, look, I had a bad game. You don't think people have bad games? Everybody has a bad game. But then he comes out and he beats some Lions, and he's like, yo, y'all need to really chill out when y'all talking to me, man. Y'all getting real disrespectful. There are moments where the media can ask him some kind of, a forceful question, so to speak, and they can be a little bothersome and annoying because they ask you kind of the same things over and over again. And and you answer a question and someone rephrases it, and it's like, I just answered that, right? I did that. So at the end of the day, this is going to be a real simple game for us. We have to stick to those key points that I named. And if we get that, the W is ours. We have nothing to worry about. The only thing we have to worry about is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's got to play better. My buddy Hobby tells me that the reason that you don't see a lot of Trey Lance is because they feel that Lance is not good at getting through his read progression properly. And that's why he hasn't been on the field. But one thing I will tell you is if we run the ball down Green Bay's throat, and we've continued to do that. Anytime we met them, it's very easy to run a ball on them. And especially with Zadarius Smith being out, that's one less pass rusher that we need to be worried about. The thing is that when you saw the Raider game, that third preseason game, where Trey Lance was in there, man, it's sickening how crazy good that run game can be. So at the end of the day, man, we need to go ahead and keep it pushing, make sure that we stay right, make sure that we stay on top of things, and make sure that we stay faithful, we stay blessed, and that stadium is so loud that Green Bay can't hear their calls. They can't hear anything. They can't think about anything. All they can think about is, I'm tired of all these people screaming and yelling in our ear. Can we get out of here? I don't care whether we get out of here with a loss or whatever. I just can't listen to anything else in the stadium. I want the Green Bay Packers to be almost all but deaf. I want the roar in that stadium to be deafening. Because when I saw Trey Lance hit the field and I went to that first preseason game, I got up, man. I literally yelled so loud and exerted so much energy, I almost passed out. You know what I'm saying? That made me realize, bro, you get a little older here, you got to slow down. I look young, but I'm 40, man, and this is definitely different. Matthew says, off topic, but I think Pat Mahomes' brother plays for the same team, if you know what I mean. Oh, man, I ain't that, I don't know. He's playing football. He might be, he might not. At the end of the day, I think that Jimmy gets into a rhythm, and I think they start to incorporate Kittle more. The issue is we have too many weapons. So you can put Sherfield, you can put Debo and Ayuk on the field. That's cool. And you have 3 different options. They'll all be open. You can go ahead and take Sherfield off, leave Debo and Ayuk out there and put Kittle in, and have Trey Sermon in the backfield. From what I understand, he may be our starter. He's clear concussion protocol from what Kyle Shanahan says. They interviewed Azeez Al-Shaair, and they interviewed Jaquiski Tartt. Azeez has been playing very well as of late, and filling in for Dre Greenlaw at that linebacker spot. And the other thing is that Kwaski was a game saver for us because he ran down, and stopped that touchdown from happening. So at the end of the day, man, this is a real tough battle for us, but I'm gonna love it. I get to be at home, I get to relax. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have the wings going. I already got the fries ready, and I'm about to marinate them wings tomorrow. They're gonna be so bomb, man. I got it ready. I'm gonna have tequila lime wings, fry them joints up, it's gonna be so fire. And then, I'll probably have myself at least a little couple of Coronas or something just on the side using Terramana tequila. Shout out to The Rock. That's my dog. Terramana tequila is just definitely going to work. And Debo is definitely a Pro Bowler. Yes, he is. Definitely so. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this into y'all one more again. This Saturday, there will be blood. Head to mybookie.ag and get in on the UFC First Blood promotion. When any fighter on the main card bleeds, you win. The second you see blood, you get paid. With this bet centered around 5 main card bouts, including 2 title fights, the octagon won't stay dry for long. So take advantage of this opportunity to make some easy money with my bookie. Nick Diaz has bled in 3 of his last 4 fights, and Robbie Lawler is a leaky faucet. So by the end of his 5-round rematch, blood will be spilled. And that's very true, man, because Nick Diaz always bleeds. Like somebody always breaking his nose, lumping him up, anything. He's a fighter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a punk, but he bleeds a lot. He does. Head to my bookie now and use promo code HIVE, HIVE, that's HIVE, to start off with the double deposit bonus. That's promo code HIVE to double your money so you can double your winnings with my bookie. And that's not all. If you deposit now, you also get a free entry into my bookie's $50,000 NFL Survivor Pool. That's a double deposit bonus, free money on UFC, and a free shot at $50,000. That's what I call a winning season. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie. And remember, that's a double on your deposit. You put in $20, they give you $40. You put in $100, they give you $200, so on and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and end the show there, man. Definitely appreciate you guys coming and listening with me, man, and hanging out with your boy. I will go ahead and take any questions that I see in here. Danny Terry says, do you think we see more Jauan Jennings this game? Jennings will continually get more and more snaps as the season goes on. They have been using him in different packages, but usually when he comes in, he's blocking. But the thing is for Jennings, just put your head down, go to work, and stay healthy and keep going, man. I love Jauan. I love his energy. And I think if we incorporate him a little bit more into the offense, he can do some big things for us. We got him because of the type of receiver he is, big body receiver, and he can go up and get those, those catchable balls, those one-on-one battles. And I think that's definitely what he can do. Jauan will be a really, really good dude, and I definitely will, keep an eye out for him because I like Jauan. I like Jauan over anybody else that we have behind Debo and Ayuk outside of Trent Sherfield, just because he showed up and showed out. But once again, everybody, stay faithful, stay blessed. I want you guys to have a fantastic afternoon, have a fantastic weekend, and on Sunday night, even while you're at home, roar, be loud, be happy, rep your Niners. If you're in an apartment, you should be almost getting kicked out your house because you're that loud. If you're in your house, your neighbors should be annoyed strictly based on the fact that you are yelling so loud at the TV and you're so happy because hopefully we'll be celebrating touchdowns and we'll be celebrating the beatdown of Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. What's up, Sin? How you doing? But once again, if you didn't get a chance to watch the video from the beginning, definitely go ahead and take a look in. This is just the game picks, and those were the things for us to be able to win, just giving us everything. My X factor in this game, I will say, is going to be George Kittle. He's been absent the first 2 games, and I know people are dying because they have him in fantasy and he hasn't been doing much. Start George Kittle. Money at all times. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful evening. Tommy Huxley, I wake up my girl yelling at the TV during the first quarter of the Beagles game. Yeah, man, you gotta be real careful, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my wife, she, God love her. I'm very fortunate that she's okay with me being crazy and being loud and being over the top. She knows that I have a love for the game that's crazy like no other. And she understands it. She kind of just goes in the room, tunes me out, and I'll be out here just going ape shit insane. Number one thing she'll come out for, she'll come out for the wings, she's gonna come out for the fries, she'll come get the food and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I definitely I go crazy. And then when the games aren't on and I can't really watch them from the house, I do have to I shift out to the bar. And it's cool because you're around a whole influx of 49er fans. You get to meet different people, what I'm saying, and continue to do things when it comes to that aspect. And me, I go in there, I'm trying to promote myself and promote this channel and continue to get more people watching. If you know somebody, tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all. Y'all have a good evening, and I'm out.